Welcome back. And top on the brief this morning, President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed Nigeria's commitment to strengthening ties with France in key sectors like food security, energy, solid minerals, education and defense. The president, who was speaking at a joint press conference in Paris following talks with President Emmanuel Macron, highlighted Nigeria's untapped agricultural potential and invited global investors to leverage its welcoming investment climate. President Macron and his wife had earlier welcomed the president and the First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, at the historic Invalids Memorial Complex, describing the visit as a milestone in bilateral relations. President Tinubu asked increased French investments in Nigeria's solid minerals collaboration in the creative industry and youth-focused initiatives.
The French-Nigerian business role is so important, and trade and investment has been integral to this partnership. As discussed earlier on, we need to do more, promote more, invest more in very important areas. Food security is one of them. No, we cannot but invest in one another's economy. And we owe it a responsibility by all of us to put together a food security program for private sector investors to come in, invest, with the risk, the fears that they may have. We've been working on stabilizing the security system in Nigeria, and we are getting closer and closer. We are doing better. We assure the investing community that Nigeria is open for business. We assure you of a free market economy, easy in, easy out, no hindrance.
And by the way, we didn't miss the pigeon exchange between both presidents yesterday. And of course, President Macron's pigeon is quite good. To other stories now. Over 2 months after the nationwide #EndBadGovernance protest, human rights organization Amnesty International is reporting that 24 protesters were killed and 1,200 were arrested between, during, and after the August 2025 #EndBadGovernance protests across the country. The rights organization made the revelation during the presentation of a documented report on the protests in Kano.
If you ask for drugs, if you ask for medicine, if you ask for good hospitals, what will you receive? Bullets. If you ask for better life for your children, better schools, what do you receive in return? Bullets.
And while we await the police's response, the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Kayode Egbetokun, has ordered the immediate sanitization and restructuring of the Kebbi State Command Criminal Investigation Department, CID. A statement signed by the Force Public Relations Officer, ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, says this is part of efforts to establish specialized investigative units and improve professionalism within the Nigeria Police Force. He adds that the IGP has directed that all officers currently occupying positions within the Kebbi State CID be reassigned to other commands, formations, and units, including training schools. And the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, is asking Nigerians to collectively denounce insurgency and all forms of criminality by teaming up with security agencies in the fight against insecurity. Speaking at an event in Abuja, General Musa says although the security threats being experienced in the country is not peculiar to Nigeria as a nation, the armed forces remain committed to quashing insurgents through what he describes as a whole society approach. General Musa also restated the commitment of the armed forces to protect the nation's democracy at all times.
The threats we face as a country are multifaceted, ranging from terrorism and insurgency to socio-economic issues and community unrest. Arising from these complex dynamics, It has become increasingly evident that no single institution can solve these issues in isolation. No one can do it alone, and we need to collaborate together as Nigerians. The armed forces, the security agencies need the support of the populace who are everywhere, because between the armed forces, the security agencies, and the terrorists, the insurgents and the bandits, we are trying to win the hearts and minds of the people. Thus, a whole society effort that brings together every segment of our nation is needed to build lasting peace, security, and progress. This can only be achieved by integrating our collective expertise, resources, and influence of various stakeholders with a view to creating a resilient framework for both security and emergency management strategies through civil-military relations. The threats we are facing are not peculiar to Nigeria alone, not peculiar to the region or Africa. It is the whole of humanity that is being threatened.
Away from security now, the Senate has passed President Bola Tinubu's 4 tax bills for second reading through voice votes. This followed presentation by the Senate leader, Senator Opeyemi Bamidele, in a general lead debate. Although the reforms were generally acknowledged as critical to overhauling Nigeria's tax system and reducing the tax burden on citizens, Senator Ali Ndume expressed reservations about the timing and certain provisions of the bill. And the immediate past Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, has called for collaboration between professional mediator bodies and the public sector to help make mediation of cases accessible for the less privileged. Professor Osinbajo also agrees that professional mediation be adopted as the mechanism for addressing disputes and conflicts. And the 7th prosecution witness, Mr. John Adetola, who is testifying in the case against the former governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, has told a Lagos High Court sitting in Ikeja how he collected the sum of $400,000 on behalf of Mr. Godwin Emefiele. Adetola, who identified himself as an executive assistant to Mr. Emefiele, also narrated how he handed over the money to Emefiele. He gave this testimony on Thursday while answering questions from the counsel to the EFCC prosecutor, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Rotimi Oyedepo. Adetola told trial judge Justice Rahman Oshodi that the functions of his office include managing office correspondences, attending to visitors, and any other tasks as assigned by his boss. He said the duties give him direct access to Emefiele. Justice Rahman Oshodi adjourned till December the 10th for the cross-examination of the witness. And good news, the Naira has shown resilience in the foreign exchange market on Thursday, closing at 1,644 Naira at the official NAFEM market, 0.96% appreciation from Wednesday's 1,660 Naira 83 kobo to the dollar. The NAFEX rate also strengthens slightly by 0.40% to 1,682 Naira 89 kobo to the dollar, following the CBN's recent 25 basis point hike in interest rate. Meanwhile, year to date, the Naira has depreciated by 40.4% from its starting rate of 988 Naira to 988 Naira 46 kobo to the dollar at the official market, reflecting ongoing volatility and FX liquidity challenges. Sports now. The latest FIFA rankings released on Thursday has Nigeria recording the most significant drop following an unimpressive performance in the last international window. In the November rankings, the 3-time African champions plummeted from 36th to 44th globally, an 8th-placed decline from its previous 1,503 total points. The team's points now stand at 1,482.23 points. Among African teams, Nigeria is ranked 5th behind Morocco, Senegal, Egypt, and Algeria. In foreign news, Australia has approved a social media ban for children aged under 16 after an emotive debate that has gripped the nation. The law forces tech giants from Instagram and Facebook owner Meta to TikTok to stop minors logging in or face fines of up to $49.5 million A trial of methods to enforce it will start in January, with the ban to take effect in a year. This sets a benchmark for jurisdictions around the world with one of the toughest regulations targeting big tech.